Everybody, welcome to 96.7 Doane Student Athlete Project. We'll call it the Doane Sports Project because I think the idea behind this is identifying talented people and giving them. Hear that, right? Hear that. It's echoing. So all of that is an echo. All of that was an echo. So pause it. Yeah. There's a lot of reverb in it. Okay, try it now. Okay, there we go. Fire it up again. We'll start it over. Hold on here. There we go. Now my headset is. There we go. Yeah, it's having fun. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody. I'm DP, of course. Got an interesting one for you tonight. The Doane Sports Project. I've got student athletes from Doane who are going to lead us through what it's like to be a student athlete at Doane. And I think we did a pretty good job of choosing the right folks. And over the course of the next few weeks, each night at 10 o'clock, these student athletes will come along. They'll bring their stories, their missions, who they are, and how they get to Doane. All of that will be a part of what we do over the course of the next few months here on the Doane Sports Project. Again, DP, let me have the young people introduce themselves to you so that you can know who we're talking to and where we're going with this thing. Grace, if you would, please.
Yeah, so I'm Grace Schroller. I'm a sophomore at Doane, and I'm from Marysville, Kansas.
I'm Blake Scommel. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm a junior at Doane University.
I'm Brady Tim. I am a junior from Doane University. I went to school in Utah, Nebraska, and I play basketball.
So through all of this, a big part of what the ticket does is we hear professionals talking about sports and the life collectively and individually that you live, but it makes way more sense to hear it from you. And it's an opportunity for you to let folks know what the life is really like, what it's really like. So before we go forward, and generally from week to week, you'll be able to text in to the show and on the Starter Hammond text line. So you can text in 402-464-5685 if you want to follow on the video stream, the Starter Hammond video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951. We'll share the word, and all of them will let you know how you can reach them, how you can find them, follow them on social media, and how to engage. Grace, if you would, please. In what you do, I always say that your first steps are guided. Your parents set a path for you. Talk to me about your parents. Who are they?
Yeah, so my parents are Pam and Jeff Schroller. They both own small businesses in Marysville. They were very involved in our community, and so that kind of taught me from a young age to be a good teammate, be a team player, just to be a part of something.
Give a shout out to your parents' business. What is happening here? Give a shout out to mom and dad's business. Give them the love.
Yeah, so my dad is a mechanic, and he owns the Schroller Collision Center. And then my mom owns the gym, kind of, I guess, where I'm from. It's Marysville Health and Fitness, and she teaches yoga classes, Pilates, personal training stuff, all of the above. So yeah.
Let me ask you about the gentleman to your left.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one thing that folks should know about him?
That he's a really good leader at Doane, that he's very involved in campus. And you don't hear anything bad about him. He's just a good kid.
What's the story to the gentleman to your left?
Just a stand-up person. When people look to somebody who can represent Doane athletics, they kind of look to the man to my left, Mr. Brady Tim, and he's a fantastic representation on and off the court. And I think everybody can stand behind that in the entire university, not only the students but the administration as well.
Okay, but now you gotta talk about your parents. All right. So, who are they? Whose shoulders do you stand on?
Yeah, so my parents are Andy Tim and Brooke Bieber. They are two people that have supported me through it all. I mean, talk about just the amount of hours that they put into me. Like from second grade, I was playing select basketball, which I have now just over the last, several years, I learned how expensive that is. So just the amount of money that they've spent into my basketball career is crazy. But they just taught me the person I am today. Like, it was never easy growing up. I had two brothers. They always pushed us, and our dad was always pushing us. But it was one of those deals where I've been so much better off because of it. Because that childhood was a grind, and that childhood was hard. It was always competing. But no, my mom she does everything. Like, she's a senior president or senior manager at LinkedIn in Omaha. But then she'll be on phone calls all day long, and then she'll go do our laundry. And then she'll cook us dinner, and she'll do all those different things. And then she'll be at our games in 30 minutes. She's the most supportive. She does everything, and I just get a lot of inspiration from her just because she's such a go-getter, and that is everything that I wanted to be and need to be for my teammates, my school, my coaches. And then my dad, he just one of the most unselfish people I've met. He goes out and does most people's lawns for free. He goes and cuts down the school's tree, extra tree branches, those different things, and just his unselfishness has just made me kind of the person I am today with that. And then just him pushing me through all those years also has created who I am today, and created that discipline that I needed to become a college athlete.
So let me ask, what trait is there? What's the common thing between Brady and Blake? What's the common trait?
I'd say that there's a lot of things common. That's why we get along so well. But I'd say the first thing that we both are is leaders on and off the campus, and just the way we carry ourselves, the way our teammates look at us, the way the campus looks at us. We're both team captains on our teams. We're both he's involved in Stuco, and it was too big of a time commitment for me at that time. But no, I would say the first thing that I would think with both of us that's in common is just leadership, and how well we're able to lead a team, lead other students, lead our friends, and those kind of things.
Define leadership, since that's the word that is so common in the room. Define it to me.
I say that leadership, in my opinion, is the ability to make decisions for a group and not only have everybody agree with them, but everybody be proud of those decisions.
Okay. Pride being its own thing, and individually people hold pride in itself. How do you identify what makes a person proud?
I say it's more like comes from self-worth a lot of the times. It's where you believe you've contributed heavily, even though a lot of the times good leaders make people who may not be contributing as heavily either understand, hey, you need to contribute more, or hey, you're contributing a lot for your situation. But I think it definitely that proudness comes from understanding, wow, I'm doing a lot for my group, for my team, and right back for my leader.
Grace, we'll start with you. Why don't?
They'd say that Doane builds leaders, and I was super active in my high school,
Okay.
and I really enjoyed that. And so I guess when I toured Doane, they constantly talked about all the leadership opportunities. There's a program called Hanson Leadership, which I applied and got into. So that was kind of an open gate to why I kind of chose Doane. And then also their tennis program. My coach used to coach at Creighton, so he had a lot of knowledge. And he was just a super fun guy. So I really enjoyed him.
Why don't?
I'm going to switch it up from the leadership perspective. I looked at Doane as almost a fresh start for myself. It was helping me become the person I've always wanted to be with, you have the big UNL where you have a lot of friends who are going there, especially coming from a big high school in Omaha.
Mhm.
I knew the general population of my graduating class was going to be attending UNL. And so going to Doane, where I only knew one other person from my high school, was such a fresh start. And having the ability to go to a school that's smaller than your high school is something that I never dreamed of. I never really thought was possible. I never thought that would be my route. But it gave me the opportunity to, like I said, become the person I want to be, but also to learn how to interact with people on a person-to-person basis and not get so lost in the noise. That was what I was looking for, was a place where I could be somebody.
Is that an advantage coming from a bigger school to a smaller school?
I think it gives you perspective a lot of the time. You
Mhm.
have a lot of recruits coming to Doane who are coming from classes of 20 to 30 people. And so it's definitely an interesting mindset going from a small class to maybe a bigger class, but coming from a bigger class to almost a smaller class, I think it gives me a little bit of an advantage because I've learned how to manage those connections in the past. And it almost becomes easier at Doane, where if I know 50 people from my high school, that's a way smaller percentage than knowing 50 people at Doane.
Do you? It's interesting as you all talk. You all reach the same apex in what you want from it, but I think the philosophy behind why you're all having success is becoming apparent to me. I don't even think you're aware of what you're doing in this space. How do you handle the additional responsibility? You talked about student government being a thing, and then too much on the plate. How do you determine your priority and your focus, the thing that you choose over everything else?
Well, I think in life you make choices of the things that you love to do, and like you make time and you want to make extra time for those things. So like when I wake up in the morning, what's the thing that I get most excited for? Most things I get most excited for are basketball and keeping my body healthy and ready to go that season, and then also just creating great social relationships with people. Um, and so, and I know that schoolwork right now is really important as well. And right now I'm going to school to be a teacher, so there's a lot of time commitment in that aspect where I need to be in the classroom and those different things. So for me, I'm constantly on the go. I mean, there's 3 days out of the week where I'm not eating lunch. So like there's a big time commitment for me, and I have to prioritize what I think I love to do the most. And the two things that I love to do the most are basketball and just working out, keeping my body healthy. I mean, I'm really into just fitness and mental health and those.
What do you do to put basketball down, let your body recharge and rest? What do you do?
So I'm a big basketball wise. It's one of the I always make sure I give myself 45 minutes to an hour every day to make sure that I'm in there. No distractions, no phone. I have a student assistant who comes in and he rebounds for me and gives me workouts, and he's honestly a great help because anytime that I have that free time, he's in there with me. So he's always in there. And then trying to recharge for the next day, I really try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. It's really hard for me because my mind races at night, so it's hard for me to get.
Well, that's why I'm asking. I'll ask it again.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're not doing basketball and you're not working out?
Yeah, so I am usually relaxing with my friends. We love movies, and so we do a lot of movie nights.
What's your favorite movie? What's your go-to? What's
in
the
my-
movie you've seen the most?
Step Brothers. Step Brothers 1000%.
Right? Like to get to that, right?
Yeah.
There's the thing. What movie have you watched more than anything else?
Ooh, the new Spider-Man movie, Across the Spider-Verse.
You've watched it already more than everything else?
100%. Or maybe when I was a kid, the movie Dolphin Tale. That was my go-to.
Why am I not? I'm actually not surprised by that.
Oh yeah, I watched it. We took a vacation down to Alabama one year, and I watched it every single night we were there. I think once or twice a night, and so that racked up about 14.
That's spectacular.
Mhm.
Grace, what's your go-to?
Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are all so new. I forget how young you are. Like I forget. Really? So
Yeah.
before Top Gun Maverick.
Before that one?
Yeah, before that came out. What was your movie? Like,
Oh, A Dog's Purpose.
A Dog's Purpose.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mhm.
Okay, that helps me. What's on your playlist? What's in your pregame playlist?
Oh, definitely some. I think they're called 3 Days Grace.
Okay.
3 Days Grace, and then Eminem, throwback Eminem. I
Okay.
love to listen to, and then a couple
Eminem is not throwback. Stop that.
Throwback.
Stop that. Stop that.
Listen, man, he was popular when I was 5 to 10, and now I'm 20. Like that's 10
Man.
years. That's throwback.
Harrison, are you hearing this? Whoa, you're hearing this.
Oh my goodness.
What's in your playlist?
I like a lot of country, so a lot of Cody Johnson, Scotty McCreery, Chris Young.
So you were pumped to volleyball day. This
Oh,
was
100%.
like it was a thing.
I was.
Did you
from-
cross over? Like, or did you go down there? Did you wear red to volleyball day?
I did. I was.
See, this is the stuff I need to know because is that allowed on campus?
At
Is
Doane.
red? Yeah, is red allowed on campus?
So I made the mistake of wearing red the second day of school this year, and I got ridiculed by a lot of people for it. But
yeah,
it's still
That's
when it's
crazy.
game day, it's reasonable. You have a lot of Nebraska fans still throughout Doane. So game day, like Husker volleyball
Yeah.
day, that's one of the biggest game days of the year.
Hey, except when Doane plays Nebraska basketball.
That's true.
Right,
That's true.
Right.
No
well,
way.
this year is going to be difficult. We'll talk about that because that's a whole thing. Grace, you have some involvement with that, so help me understand where does UNL rank in your mind? Do you have Husker gear?
Yeah, I do. I'm a big Husker volleyball fan. My
Okay.
mom used to coach volleyball since I was like little, so I grew up a volleyball fan.
Okay,
Don't know why I chose tennis. I mean, it was kind of but yeah, I do have Husker volleyball gear, and I do go to Husker volleyball matches.
do you go to Husker football games?
Yeah, my parents have season tickets. Football games.
I've never been.
I used to work at them.
You wait a minute. You've never
No.
been to a Husker football game.
No, I'm just not a big football fan. I don't know.
That's crazy.
How is
I
that
mean,
even
Chiefs.
possible?
I like the Chiefs. I
How
just
is-
I get bored watching.
Have you
it.
been
Oh,
to a
no.
Chiefs game?
Yeah, one.
That's
Grace,
fair.
Grace,
I've never
Grace,
been to an NFL
Grace.
game, so that's fair.
Okay.
You've never been to an NFL game.
No, I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. I watch them every
That's
single weekend.
that explains it. I'm from DC. My mortal, natural born DNA enemy is
No
the Dallas Cowboys. So that's you get no love here. Who do you root for?
I don't really have an NFL team now,
Okay,
but I like the Royals when
Okay.
it comes to baseball.
I'm sorry.
It's getting tough.
I'm
out
sorry
here.
to hear that.
It's tough. Nebraska volleyball is my favorite. Volleyball, like college volleyball, is my favorite sport to watch, men's or women's.
Okay,
But Nebraska volleyball, and then just Nebraska football. But then I also am a big college baseball fan, so
Okay.
I follow Vanderbilt and the Huskers.
okay. What's the biggest? What is the biggest vibe on the campus of Doane when it comes to athletics? Like who gets the most love?
I would say football,
You think so?
but we're
I-
not
I-
not great this season. So
I don't know.
It's
about that.
season just
basketball.
started.
I mean, like obviously you're gonna have your two like main sports in football and basketball. Like, those
Right.
are your main sports. But like
Okay.
I would say our best, like most exciting teams are our track team and
Mm.
our baseball team. Those two teams probably get the most. And like our we had a wrestler who won a couple national championships. So, like people got excited about him too.
how long ago was that? When
A couple years ago. Like
Last
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 year
year.
he went to semis, but the year before he won the national.
and the 2 years before that, so he was gonna.
so why didn't you bring him? What's going on?
He graduated.
Does he not like
Yeah.
you?
no, he graduated.
Like you know how to find him, right?
Yeah, we don't find-
Yeah.
we'll
There's
bring him on.
probably a
We'll
story.
bring him on.
Yeah, like that's a story. Like that's a story. Who's the most popular athlete on campus?
Rochelle Rodriguez.
Who's
Is that her name? She's a girl wrestler. She like won.
baller?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they
Is
don't.
she the most popular athlete on campus?
When it comes to like nationally recognized,
Yeah.
or are you talking about the students on campus?
Both. This is a fantastic lane. So she's so good that everybody is on her team.
I mean,
I
she-
think
she went to
everyone-
Olympics.
we had
She went-
she went to the Junior Olympics this past year, or U21 wrestling Olympics in like Eastern
Harrison, did you know that?
Europe.
See, okay, this is again the sole purpose of this is expanding the minds of Nebraska sports fans because we think we know everything and we really don't. And this is kind of the open portal so that we can introduce folks to some of the really cool things that are going on campus. Who's the most popular amongst athletes? Like who's got the riz? Who's the person that? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Why is it you?
I don't know.
Curly hair.
No, I think
could be
I feel like that's hard
obsession
for
with-
him to answer. I
Yeah, I
think
don't
we
know if
should
I
answer.
can.
well, let's see that you can validate
Yeah.
or deny.
I feel like I'm nice to everybody, and so like I'm friendly, and I like I don't want to say I was I was a leading scorer on the basketball team last year. So that's why. I feel like that's why.
You were the leading scorer last year?
Yeah.
What'd you average? Talk to
21.
21 a game.
Mhm.
How many assists?
Oh, not very many.
Uh-oh.
About three.
See,
About three.
now you know I'm a basketball coach, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna have that conversation.
I know.
like
Our
what's
coaches have had that.
what's the mission? What's the perfect mission? 21 points and
I mean,
how
I would
many
say-
assists? How many rebounds should I be expecting in the box score?
I mean, I wouldn't even say 21 points is like what you should be getting. It should be about 17 or 18 with.
No, what should you? No, you hit 21. You don't get to back moonwalk into less than 21
and then
points.
you get the 5, then you up the assists a couple 2 or
Up-
3. You
up
up the assists,
all
and then
of
up
it.
the rebound.
Up all of it. What was your shooting percentage from 3
40%.
and from the field?
I think it was like 49 or 50.
49 or 50. What are the magic numbers? Come on,
Or I
the
think it was
three.
49.
So we need 40 plus 40 from
Okay.
3. We need
Yeah.
plus 50 from the field, and
Yeah.
we need plus what from the free throw line? What'd you shoot?
81. 81.
Oh, so you left points all over the place.
Oh, absolutely. It was.
Oh, you left points all over the
Gotcha.
place. So if you get to 90, which is the real measuring stick, right?
90%.
Yes.
We're like entering Larry Bird status right now.
As opposed to what?
I mean, 81's reasonable.
Yeah.
No, reasonable is not leadership.
No, and I agree. Like there is 1,000%. I've always aimed to get 85%. I don't know why. I mean, I shoot free throws every single day.
90 is the number.
Out of all the amount of free throws, I mean, you're right. 90% is ideal, but like 85 is the first goal. We
Harrison,
get
you
85.
know how I know he hasn't met me yet? I get what I want. And so here's
we
the
got you, DP.
here's the collective, right? 40, 50, and 90.
Okay.
Right?
can
We
work
do
on
that. 25 is the thing.
Okay, we got you.
25 is the thing. All right. Grace, talk to me. Okay, so your seed last year was what? Where were you on the team? What seed did you
So
play?
coming in as a freshman, I was 6 singles, 6 doubles.
Okay, and
That went well.
uh-huh.
I didn't even think I was gonna make lineup, honestly, because when I came and watched my tour,
Why?
because the girls were really good when I came and toured, and I was
And?
like, they're
And?
much better than me.
Have they? Okay, those are words we will never say again.
They were much better.
Okay,
than me,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what was your record? What was your one loss?
Oh,
record?
I don't even remember what my record was.
Oh,
But
oh, great.
no, but
Great.
well, I mean,
Great. You know we have cell phones. We have the
yeah,
internet.
you guys can look it up
We
for
can go
me.
find out what that is. What should your record have been?
Oh, well, I think I know I had a winning record,
Okay.
like more wins than losses. I'm not going to say the wrong numbers,
Okay.
but
What's the target for this year then? What seed should you be playing?
well, right now I'm a number 2 single, number 1 double. So, that was a
Look
big
at you.
jump. Yeah.
Look at you.
Thanks.
Okay, Grace, come on. All right.
A lot of work.
Okay. And then the one loss record, even though you're playing against higher level of competition,
Mhm.
better record this year?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. But
Ah!
it's a big difference from.
What would
6
your coach say?
He would agree with me that that's a big jump and that it's gonna be tough.
Oh, now I gotta talk to your coach.
but
What is happening here? What is this?
no,
What
it's
do your parents say? What do they expect from you?
well, they're really proud of me. I've only been playing tennis for 6 years now because I played volleyball throughout my childhood, and then freshman year of high school, I was like, I'm gonna try tennis, and I ended up being really good. I loved it, so I think they're really proud that I'm like sticking with something that I just tried, So, and then I ended up being good at it, and I put the
This
work
gets
into
better all the
it.
time. So just randomness, just like hey, okay, at least you
At
didn't
least you
quit.
did.
At least you didn't quit. Like,
I guess we'll
Great.
college.
great.
They like to come watch me, so I must be fun to watch. I don't know.
But here you are.
Yeah, I think they're proud that I stuck with it.
Please explain this. Please explain her to me so I understand. What's happening here?
A little bit of humbleness,
Okay.
humility.
Okay.
But I think that she does put a lot of work and effort into that. I think that it's very easily seen by her rank up, but the women's and men's tennis teams at Doane are very high performing,
Okay.
competitive with a lot of D1 programs.
Okay.
And so just to see that improvement, stuff that I didn't even know until she just said that.
Yeah,
But
that's like, look at you.
that's astronomical. And I think that you mentioned it earlier is showing everybody kind of what Doane is like. A lot of people don't know that that's fantastic. And that's very difficult to do. And
What does your sports bio say? Give me the scouting report. Give me your scouting report.
Personally,
so
or-
the one that you would write, and then the one your coach wrote.
okay.
Because rarely are they the same, right?
So I guess let's start off with what my coach would write. My coach would write, how does this kid get around the golf course? How
I
does
have played both before. That's accurate.
I don't play like fundamental golf.
Okay.
I have a weird swing.
You're Happy Gilmore.
I'm Happy Gilmore. I move the ball a lot, left to right to left, and I get away with anything. People call it ScoMo golf. The golf team has coined it ScoMo golf, where you hit it into the woods, you punch it out, you chip up, and you make the putt, and you get on with it. And so, how I would say it, how I would define it is, I have the best attitude out of anybody I will ever play golf with in my entire life.
That's
I
amazing.
I think that if I'm going up against you and we are dead even when it comes to skill, I will beat you 10 out of 10 times. Because I will, if you hit a bad shot and I hit a bad shot, I will say, all right, guess what? Next shot's going to be way better than his.
Yeah.
And I always can spin it. I never get frustrated on the golf course. If I ever do get a little disgruntled, it's going horribly. Like,
it's gone really
I
low.
have broken 3 clubs.
Yeah,
and
really low.
and I've ran out of golf balls.
Uh,
So
uh.
I never let anything get to me, because I just tell myself on the course and when I'm practicing, at the end of the day, you're getting paid to play golf.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality that I think a lot of student athletes and don't really think about. And I have to remind a lot of them, where it's like, wow, you're stressing really hard about this really small thing that might not even affect your point on the team, but it's just a personal struggle you're going through, and it can be fixed if you just keep working and keep doing what you're doing right now. But you're stressing about it right now for no reason. At the end of the day, you're getting paid to go to school, get a degree. It's going to help you in your future, and you get to play a sport. And it's a little bit different with these guys because they're on a little bit more harder training schedules than I am, but even
a little,
a lot, especially with Brady. Especially with
he
Brady.
hasn't run a suicide. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
is
No.
that? Like-
A little was a little bit of an exaggeration, under exaggeration. So I am insanely grateful for the position I find myself in, and I remind myself every day.
What's your handicap?
It's a +2.
Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. Like that's a real thing. Like nobody likes you. Like, really? Like, it's just like, come on. That's not. So you play, right? You play.
Well,
golf.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your
I
handicap? What do you?
I
Do
would
you know?
probably say like a 9.
Okay.
But I took this guy, to 16 holes one time. It went around. And I played out of my butt that day.
Yeah.
But listen, when it gets competing time, like if it's head-on-head match, you're gonna get the best. You're gonna get my best shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna make some putts that we didn't know we can make. We're gonna have some-
Playing Brady is the most ridiculous thing I've ever had to go through, and I've done it 3 times.
Have
and
you taken Grace?
No, I don't think so.
You play golf?
I did when I was little.
You seem
Actually,
like a golfer.
I'm gonna hype
Yeah,
myself
you do
up.
seem like a golfer.
I played when
She
until
was
I was
the
like
putt-putt
12.
golf
Yeah.
champion.
No, I was about to say that. 2 years in a row,
Really?
I won our young.
All of Kansas.
No, it was like the country clubs. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I was like, oh, I played at the country club. No, like I was from a small town, so like everyone kind of did
Yeah.
the country club golf thing. And so for like the girls side of things,
Mhm.
I won the girls like junior division 2 years in a row.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
So if
Why'd
we
you give
did
it
an
up?
Olympics between the 3 sports, tennis, golf, basketball, who would win?
Brady consistently plays all 3.
All 3.
Mm.
He does.
I do play tennis.
He
from
does
time to
love
time.
playing tennis. I play golf.
not
with him.
good.
Grace, can he handle your serve, you think?
No.
Zero,
I've
right?
seen
No
him play
shot.
like once, and it wasn't bad. Like they kept it in. So
Right.
It's underhand, sir. It's underhand. When we play, it's underhand.
Oh,
serve.
that's tough. Wait, I didn't know that.
Oh,
'cause
I didn't know
you're-
that.
I didn't know that either.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
tough.
You're playing grown up badminton. The underhanded swing is
But
just.
out of the group, I win usually. So we'll take our wins.
No, I think in Olympics, and also here's the other thing. I'm gonna have throughout the course of the year, we're gonna send Harrison out to play tennis against Grace, to go golfing, and then he'll go play basketball.
Oh my goodness.
Now he thinks of himself as a hooper. I'm just like,
Okay.
Oh,
Let's go.
okay.
like what'd you average in high school?
25.
Right, like it's a thing. So I think throughout all of this is kind of the measure of what this should be. Most of the conversations about what the student life is like, what frictions you face, who your opponents are, the things you struggle with, and the things that you have success with. To share your success stories is important because they're students that you are never going to meet who are going to hear and recognize that they share a thing with you. And you may be reaching them in a moment that they need to hear from you. I'll ask you from a nutrition standpoint, do you think you're getting what you need to perform at your best? Yeah.
I would say so we're not allowed to be on campus till our junior year. And so I would say that our meal plan that we get is not necessarily the nutrition that I would say that is needed for our sport. I feel like that's where the small schools struggle the most at. It's like we don't get the amount of resources that because I know somebody who plays up here in Nebraska basketball, and they get 3 meals a day, and they get the protein, the carbs, the whole plate that you need, and like every macro is signed in and those different things. And at Doane, we don't have that. Now in the summertime, when I go back home and I'm able to cook for myself, I usually tend to be on a really strict diet, and I really try to eat as healthy as I can be. And like I wish my season was during the summertime because that's when I feel the absolute best. But no, I mean, like I would say when you're in school, it's kind of just like you kind of scrape by with what you can get.
Do you have the resources to make your own meals and to get from it what you want to get from it, or are you because what we hear from other athletes is that the time constraints of the academic side, the workouts, the study halls, the meetings, all of those things sometimes cut over into time to eat properly or the resources to eat properly. It's one thing for Husker athletes. For Doane athletes, as you said, sometimes the focus is to get everybody fed and then the priority being on the football players who generate the most money.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that
I find it that if you put the effort forward, we have access to supermarkets. We have Walmart right down the street. If you can put the effort forward, you can easily get the nutrition you want. What's really nice about Doane is 80% of the students on campus are athletes. And so it is a coined athletic school. 80% of the students on campus are athletes. 15% of them are involved in other activities. So we give out music scholarships and stuff like that. So the school and the professors are set up in a way that helps you easily manage academic and athletic life. And I really like that about Doane, especially being in a sport that misses a lot. I miss 2 days a week for 3-week spans. And so it's really difficult to get caught up. But all the professors understand, okay, we have processes in place that can help you get back into this type of thing. And so that kind of works hand in hand with free time. There are some points in your season where you're probably not going to have as much free time, whether that's, oh my gosh, this class is super strenuous at this point of the year, or, oh my gosh, my practices are 2 days and just really tough on me. But generally you find that you will have time throughout the day that's kind of outlined for you to have that free time in order to, if you want to cook for yourself, you can. I agree with Brady is that some of the time, or not some of the time, a lot of the time you don't get the best nutrition when it comes to the cafeteria meals and different stuff like that when it comes to like an athletic diet. But if you put the time forward, I found that you can definitely make the things that you want and make the things you need. It might just be a little unorthodox at times.
Grace, give me the typical weekly diet.
I mean, it varies like every week, I guess, but Like for breakfast in the morning, I'll try to like make the quick oatmeal things, or I'm not gonna lie, I just don't eat breakfast if I don't
What
have
do
time.
what do they have in the cafeteria?
I don't go to the cafeteria for
So,
breakfast. I don't have time.
They have like you can. The breakfast is the best meal in the caf. Like they make omelets for you, but then usually there's just like eggs in a pan, not in a pan, one of those. I don't know what you call those.
Yeah, but containers.
Containers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eggs in containers. They'll make biscuits and gravy, but the biscuits are really dry most of the time. So I'm really crapping on the food, but I mean I've got the love hate relationship with it. But
What's the typical lunch in the cafeteria?
Like some chicken option, rice, pasta, maybe
yeah,
pizza.
pasta is always an option.
Yeah, the pasta's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then dinner.
Kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
not a lot of variety to it. I mean, they'll change up the meats once in a while. Like they'll go from chicken to sometimes they'll serve fish.
Right.
Hmm.
They usually have like potatoes or like green beans,
Mhm.
stuff like that. But
How much funding or money, side money do you get aside from cafeteria lunches, et cetera, that you can generate? So zero.
Zero.
So literally anything outside of those three
It's your own money.
meals,
It's your own money.
it's
Mhm.
your own money.
Mhm.
Then I'll ask the question. What should that number be? Like how much money would help you cover the bridge between what they offer you to eat and what would actually help you be the best student athlete you could be?
I mean, like me personally, I'm big into that, like eating right and those different things. So like it would take my number's a little bit higher than most other people would be. Like you really want your athletes to compete at the highest level.
Yeah, but what would your
I mean,
numbers
like, I would say to like 250 to 300 a month.
be? Okay.
I would say for that. I mean, like even $100 for a month.
What would your number be?
I would say 300. I thought he was
Yeah.
going to go a lot higher,
Yeah,
like
same.
just under $100 a week.
Yeah.
That'd be enough to fill in where we
Grace,
can't.
what do you think?
I would say the same thing. But like with like the fresh produce stuff,
Yeah.
that's a lot more expensive than just like the kind of frozen stuff. So I think it kind of
When like in the dorms, you want to have that
Depends.
freezer thing. So
Right.
A lot of it has to just be like that fresh food because you can't
Right.
freeze anything.
And your dorms don't have full size refrigerators; they're small,
You have to
mini.
bring in your refrigerator yourself.
So you need to find somebody to donate like an extra giant freezer,
Pretty
so
much.
so athletes
Yeah.
can actually have some decent
Yeah.
food.
It's
Wow.
like I would say, like that is. I mean, that is the biggest thing that I've seen difference from the small college to the big college. Is just like the amount of resources you get. Like at Nebraska, like I said with the basketball guy, like he gets 30 T-shirts. We get a pair of socks for Christmas.
a hat maybe.
Yeah, a hat.
We get our
maybe.
uniforms.
Stop it. Really?
No, like, for real,
Yeah.
like we don't get anything.
Buy it yourself.
Like, we'll
Yeah.
like we'll get a pair of shoes for basketball.
Really?
Yeah.
So you buy your own shoes,
No. So we get one pair of free shoes, but like for me,
but
Under
those
Armour-
are game shoes usually,
those are
right?
Usually game shoes, like practice shoes. Like I went my freshman year, I went through 5 pairs of basketball shoes. I had to pay for 4.
Your clubs are custom, I would imagine.
Yep. We get, same with most universities, we get discounts. We
Uh-huh.
don't get it for free. Our golf bag we had to pay for.
Do you have is there a golf supplier in town that
Nope.
they don't even partner you with anybody that can hook you up?
Nothing specific, just general.
Grace, what do they? I mean, you
I mean,
tennis shoes, outfits.
we have our uniform, maybe like 4 shirts and then a warm up.
So,
And
so
that's all
you
we
wear
get.
the same uniform
Yep.
for every match, even if you're
Pretty much.
okay. So again, knowledge is everything. I'm a member. So before I went to a major university, I went to JUCO, and I understand the difference. And I like to fix things. I like to fix things. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, we'll go rapid fire here before I let you guys get out of here. I'll start with Grace. We'll go down the line. Tell me your favorite pro athlete.
Coco Gauff.
Let's go Colin Morikawa.
Chris Paul.
The favorite human in your life.
My mom.
Both my brothers.
I would have to say both my brothers as well.
The greatest friction, the thing you have to work on more than anything else.
Tennis.
staying on track.
I would definitely say like my academics.
Delegating. Delegating. What's your strongest trait?
My like compassion and how I care for people.
Communication.
I would say social. Like how social.
100% ambition. 100% ambition. Look, I think the project will be everything that I hope it is. I think you three are the perfect examples for what we're going to do with this thing, and why it's important, because you'll be able to make it easier for other people who do what you do, and other folks who are trying to do what you do. And it'll provide some interesting information for folks knowing what the life is of a Doane student athlete. So thank you all for hanging with us tonight. And again, next week, by the time we get the highlights for this, we'll be in the next week and they'll have their own show. So
Awesome.
that's what we're going to do tonight. I thank you all for what you do.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you folks next week.